Hi and welcome back to Steph's Veg. Today I'm going to be sowing some seeds indoors. The weather's not very nice out there, it's a bit blowy and windy, so I'm doing it indoors because my greenhouse is a bit chilly. For my brassicas, my cauliflower, broccoli and cabbages, I use these things called root trainers. These are the deep ones. All you do is fill it up with the seed compost and then just sow your seeds in there, and then the roots will start growing out the bottom, so you're not inhibiting the root. I have filled these ones up already, so I'm just going to give them a little bit of a water first before I sow them and let that soak in, because I like to do that so then the seed has got a bit of a start with some water. Okay, so I've just given these a little bit of a water and I'm just going to let them soak down. As you can see, they are quite heavy once they're full up with compost, and they do take a bit of time to fill up, because what you think, you filled it up and then you push your fingers down in it and it goes all down to the bottom, so it does take a bit of while. Right, so today I'm going to be sowing, as I say, cauliflower, which I always do Boris. I find them really good, and I've had a good crop of cauliflowers in the last few years. Last year I did a new one. I had a packet and I'm a bit dubious, and I thought I'd sow it just as an experiment, and it's called Romanesco, and I must admit it tastes absolutely delicious, so I'm going to be doing that again. So hopefully I'll get a nice crop of those. I'm going to be doing 2 different types of broccoli at the moment. Excuse me. I will sow these in succession because I do another load in about 3 weeks. Once these start growing, I'll do another load. But these ones will be ready to harvest in June, which is Cavinia, and Bellstar, which will be ready in July. I have grown both of these before and they've been really good as well. I'm doing 3 varieties of cabbage. I like to do a nice quick easy one called Greenwich. I like to do Savoy, that's Savoy January King. That's nice for cooking. And then I like to do a red cabbage, which is called Red Drumhead, because I like to pickle that. So that's those seeds for them. Also some Brussels sprouts. I'm going to do the same as what I did last year. These are called Bedford Darkmar. I had a good crop of them last year. A few kale, Nero di Toscana. So they're all going to be going in these root trainers. I'm also going to be sowing some gherkins, cucumbers, sweet corn and tomatoes. The tomatoes are a beef one called Costa Luto Fiorentino. It's an Italian type one. It's a big beef tomato. A tiny little one called Red Cherry. And then a main one called Moneymaker. The gherkin is just Cornichon de Paris. So that's for pickling. I have got some other cucumber seeds which I saved from last year, which I did Telegraph and Moneymaker and Market More. So I've saved a few seeds in there, but they're all mixed, so I'll sow them, but I don't know what ones they're going to turn out to be. And sweet corn, and every year I sow ambrosia, which I do get a good crop apart from last year, but then I think the pack of seeds were a bit out of date, so they didn't do too well last year. So these are all new seeds. So just going to start with doing my broccolis. So I've got these retainers, so I'm going to do one for my broccoli and one for my cauliflowers, and then I'll fill up the other one and do the cabbages and that in that one. So I've got my little pot. These are Bellstar. As I say, I have sown them before, so this one's already open. So I'll put them in the little pot there. And what I tend to do, actually I might have to take this glove off because it's going to stick to my glove. I have made a little dell in each one. So I'm just going to pick up a seed. You probably won't be able to see that, but they are really, really tiny. And I'm going to pop one in each module. So this is going to take time. So I'll do this with my cauliflowers after I've done this. I've had these root trainers for a few years now, and I've never had a problem with them. So, right, well, most of those have actually got 2 seeds in. Right, and then all I'm going to do is get some of my vermiculite, because it's nice and light. So they don't need to be watered again, because it is in water at the moment. And then just sprinkle some of that over the top. This holds the water in. So, anyway, so I'll crack on doing the rest, and I'll show you at the end the finished sowings. Okay, so I've just done broccoli with Belstar. Now I'm just doing the cauliflower Boris. Same principle, 2 seeds in each. A couple more in that one. There we go. Right, so they're my cauliflowers. Just going to cover them over the same as the broccoli with the vermiculite. I will then put these in my greenhouse with a lid over the top of it to propagate it. As it's still a bit chilly, they need that little bit of warmth. Got the lids for these up in the greenhouse, so I'll have to do that when I take them up. That's that done. Got my label all ready. Pop that in there. So, oh, that'll go in. Quite stiff. There we go. So that's that job done. I won't bore you with filling this up. So my kale and cabbages and the Romanesco cauliflower are going to go in that one. So because I only need a couple of each, maybe 1 row of kale, cabbage and the red cabbage. I'll do a few more rows of the red cabbage and the Romanesco. So that's showing you the root trainers. I keep getting them wrong. It's called a root trainer. And now I'm going to do some. I need to move that out of the way, so I'm going to have to put this outdoors for a minute. So now I'm going to be sowing my sweet corns. I've got 24 pots here, so I'm just going to pop 1 seed. So they're like sweet corn kernels, they're quite big. So I'm just going to pop 1 in each pot and just push it down, cover it over. So these are quite easy to sow. Just make a hole and push it literally down with your finger. Don't need to go down too deep. Now, while I was down the allotment the other day, I had to do a few little repair jobs on my beam frame, and I've altered my pea frames to make them a bit sturdier with a bit extra wood. So I'll show you them next time I go down to the allotment, just to make it sturdier so it doesn't keep falling over. Right, nearly done with these. Right, that's those in. Right, let's pop them back in the pot. So they're all planted or sown, and I'm just going to give them a drop of water. And then what I do, I get food bags, they're open, and literally just pop a couple in each bag, zip it up, and then just pop it to one side. So that acts as like a little propagator. So then I'll just put them in the greenhouse, take them up when I go up. So I'll just put them in my little pot for now. So easy, you haven't got to worry about trying to cover these over. Like I say, I'll just pop them in these bags. These are the large size food bags. But obviously if you're only putting one in, you can use the medium size or smaller size. So, yeah, so it's all just in there. And then I'll put them in the greenhouse like that and just keep an eye on them. Make sure they don't dry up too much. But in this weather, I don't think they will do. It's turned a bit chillier today. That's so easy. And I've done 24 there. So hopefully they'll all take. Right. Just pop them in there. With a bit of luck, all of them will germinate. I won't have to sow anymore. So you're going to get obviously one or two that ain't going to grow. Alright, I'll put that one. Right. Just sort of doing the balancing act at the minute. Alright, that's that. Alright, let's just write one label out. Right, so I'm just going to pop that into one of the pots. Right, and pop that in there. Oops, don't fall over. So that's that job done. It's quick and easy. And then they can go in the greenhouse like that. So just need a bit of warmth now to help germinate them. Right, so they're all done. Right, the next job is tomatoes. So I've still got some little pots. Don't need many plants because there's only me and my husband, but I always do extra just in case a couple of them do die off. So how many have I got there? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Right. Yeah, I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to do my cucumbers and gherkins in the pots. And I have already filled these with compost. So I'm just going to give it a quick water. These are just like a seed tray. Right, that's that. And I'm going to sow my tomatoes. So let's start with the cherry ones, red cherry. Sow them all now and do some indoors and some out. Right, so how small are these? Oh, these are very tiny, these ones. Alright, let's get a little pot. So I'm gonna try not see if I can. Oh yeah, got 2 there. So I'm gonna put 2 in each module. 2. 2. So as I'm doing 3 different types of tomatoes, I'm going to do 1 row of cherry, I think, because I can always sow some more if they don't grow. So let's pop them back in there. So I'll put 2 seeds in each module. Right. Next I'm going to do the money maker. So I'm going to do 2 rows of money maker. Same thing, 2 seeds in each module. Actually, these look a bit bigger seeds. I think I'll just chop one there. 2. Right. And these ones are the beef tomatoes, which are, as I say, Italian, big Italian flavour. Cauliflower Fiorentino, if that's how you pronounce it. Alright, so pop that one in there. So I know then that side is the beef ones. And then just slightly cover it over. Get a little bit more soil if need be, which I've got here. And just gently lay it over. Until they're covered. Right, so they're the tomatoes all done. I will be taking these up to the greenhouse as well. So there, that's that job done. The tomatoes. Okay, so now I'm going to be doing some cucumbers and some gherkins. Don't need that many. Just last year I had an abundance of cucumbers and didn't know what to do with them. There's only so many you can give away. Right, so I'm just filling these pots up. I'll be glad when I can get outside and do this. It's just been too wet and too cold, and when it has been nice and warm I've been working. So right, in here I've got cucumber seeds from last year. As I say, I've got no idea, I can't remember what they are. There's a mixture of Telegraph, Moneymaker, Market More. So it's a bit of a lucky dip as to what grows. So I'm just going to get a couple. I'm going to do a few of these, but I'm also going to do a packet of Telegraph just in case these ones don't grow. Just get them on the edge and push them down like from top to bottom. So 1 seed in the middle and then just cover it over. Right, so that's those. Same principle, I am going to put them in some bags, but also I can't get them muddled up with my sweet corns, so I'll have to put them separately somewhere else. But once I get them in the greenhouse, I'll have more space to put them out. So I'm just going to put them over here for now. Right, but I also need to go and get some more bags because I've run out. Right, so they're the 6 cucumbers that I don't know what the names are. And then these are going to be the Telegraph. And these I think can be, you can sow them out, you can grow them outside as well as in the greenhouse. So I'll probably just grow them outside in the garden. Right, so they're all the cucumbers done. Right, that's cucumbers. So in here, I'm going to do the gherkins, and these are Cornichon de Paris. Same principle, probably same size seed. And just haven't done gherkins for a few years, so I thought I'd give them another go. Right, let's just cover them over. Right, so they're all covered over. Ooh, bit down there. Right, so as I say, there's my onions exhibition. I've actually got some red onions growing there in pots, but I'm going to let them grow on like actually they need a drop of water, grow on like the other onions. Right, these are lettuces still growing here. I have repotted some, and they're in the greenhouse at the moment with all my chilies and peppers. So they're going to go back on there. Right, I have actually sown some celery, but this seems to be taking ages to grow. Never do have a lot of success with celery. I end up planting about two packets, but I can see some roots growing. So hopefully just leave it to produce the celery. So I'm going to put that on there and turn that heat one off now because I don't need that one. Right, I've got one more spare tray there, and I'm just debating whether to do my brassicas on there or not, or fill up my other retainer. I might fill up the retainers because they're quite deep. So right, I'm going to quickly get on and do that. It's going to take some time, and I'll get back to you in a minute. Okay, so I've managed to fill my root trainer up. So it took a bit of time, but you have to make sure it's all nice and compact. I have given it a drop of water so that the seeds will just go on top of that, and then I won't need to water it again. Just letting it soak through for a minute. So in here, I'm just going to be sowing one row of Brussels, one row of the green rich cabbage, and one row of the Savoy, and one row of kale. The rest of it is going to be the Romanesco, cauliflower, broccoli, whatever you want to call it. Then I think I'm going to have to use this tray here for my red cabbage because I've run out of root trainers at the moment. So I'm just going to see how far I get with these seeds because these are tiny as well. Right. Yeah, they're just like little tiny little seeds. Then I've got the rich green cabbage. And then The next one is going to be the Savoy January King. The rest are going to be the Romanesco. There we go. So that's the brassicas done. I've put the others up the greenhouse already because I've running out of space in here. So I'll be taking them up in a minute. So all covered over, all labelled. So that's them done. The only other thing I didn't sow was the red cabbage and the kale. So I'm going to pop them into this tray here. So that's all the seeds sown for today of what I wanted to do. I've still got my squashes and pumpkins to do, and my courgettes, but I think they're more towards April, beginning of April, so I'll do them probably next week. So I'm just going to have a quick drink because I'm parched, and then I'll take these up to the greenhouse and I'll show you the greenhouse. Right, so in here is my greenhouse where I've just brought all the stuff that I've sowed today. This rack here is actually specially made for these root trainers, so they slot in and so you can see them hanging down. So yeah, they're ideal for them. And then obviously I've put all my other bits covered over all round there. I will just quickly show you what I sowed the other day. But I need to shut this up first because it's very blowy. Or shall I say repotted the other day in this greenhouse. So in here, oops, the door's going to shut. In here is the peppers and chilies that I sowed the other week, and I repotted them on. They're growing slowly, but they're growing. They're the ones I repotted the other day. And then these are the lettuces that I'm hoping that are going to grow and recover after repotting them. So, hope you've enjoyed watching my video today of some sowing seeds and showing you what's growing. So, hope you've liked it, and please like it and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I'll catch up with you again soon.